And the other thing was you talked about, analyzing things and it sounded like you were kind of, verging into questions of accountability and questioning things when you need to.
Mhm.
It's been something that we have seen some of, but not a lot this season. I mean, can you reflect on what you've seen the current Board of Selectmen do when it comes to conflict on the Board of Selectmen, whether that's, between one another or with the first selectman?
Yeah.
How you would handle that?
Yeah, it seems that there are a lot of surprises, or I don't know, maybe not surprises to some, but to at least to some of the members of the board, it seems that they were surprised when the Ambler farm lease was in a position to be signed, and then some board members pushed back and said, well, but actually we're concerned about the tenor of the lease, or we're concerned about how the town potentially will be compensated from events that go on at Ambler Farm. And so there were a few sticking points that came up, and it seemed like why did that happen at that moment? It seemed that this was something that had been in the works, or the negotiation of this lease had been in the works for a very long period of time, and something that, at least some of the members of the Board of Selectmen felt that they should have been involved with much earlier. I think also the Board of Finance also felt like they should have been involved with much earlier on in the process. So I would say that's an example of something where probably, and again, this isn't I'm not reaching out for, I'm not being voted on now for a first selectman role, so I can't speak exactly to the responsibilities there. But that's a place where probably that issue probably should have been brought to the board, either the selectmen or Board of Finance earlier on, so that it doesn't feel like a last minute thing, and it not just makes us look not very operationally on things, but also to the other parties, the friends of Ambler in this particular case. We don't come off very well coordinated in this case. So that was one, and then the fight over the dispute over the filling of the seat in the Board of Selectmen during the summer. It seemed like certain parts of the first selectmen, some members of the Board of Selectmen were comfortable with it, and then there were others that were very uncomfortable with that sort of thing. And then, something was discovered late that the charter said that it had to be a person of a certain. It just seemed like there were a number of things that were kind of sprung upon late there, much like the Ambler Farm situation, or other situations where the budget from the most recent year was presented late to the Board of Selectmen. It was supposed to come during the winter, and it didn't really get presented till I think it was early April. So I think those are cases where I think maybe just some better communication and awareness between the members of the Board of Selectmen and the first selectman. I'm not pinning the blame necessarily on one or the other. Probably it's just figuring out that dialogue so that the members of the board are aware of what the first selectman is working on at any one time. And if they feel that they need to step in and comment on any of those things, that would be an opportunity to do it so it doesn't get sprung on them in the last minute.